gold down there, Diane. There's gold down there.
You're like their number one favorite guy. Because you won them cash. Well, the Masters has drawn to a close, and this week on the PGA Tour, off to the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head, South Carolina. We're going to talk about that and we'll do our full tour report. But first of all, Elk, we have to look back on a fantastic Masters. I say that with a little bit of a smile on my face, only because final round was not the most exciting of final rounds in a major. However, what an incredible victory for Japan and Hideki Matsuyama.
It was a strange Masters, yes indeed, Diane. We were all sort of pulling for Hideki Matsuyama to win the tournament. We wanted it to get closer. And every time someone looked like they were going to make a move, they couldn't quite capitalize on it. Jordan couldn't quite sink the putts he needed to. Yeah, we started to see Alexander Schauffele, make 4 birdies in a row. He came to the 16th hole, completely misjudged the wind. What would have happened if Schauffele would have hit it, say, 8-10 feet under the hole there? Would it have changed the whole tournament? Hideki hit it up top, 3-putted. It was just so – it just goes to show, Diane, this tournament's always never over until it's over. But I have to admit, it was flat on the back nine, but I knew deep in my heart that this was a very important win for Japan, and it worked out to be so big for them.
Well, Saturday was so exciting, and we saw Xander and Jordan, Mark Leishman. There was so many names for us. Of course, Mark Leishman was such a big deal because he's one of our Secret Golf contributors. But Saturday, guys really made runs up the leaderboard. Will Zalatoris. So even though Matsuyama did have a commanding lead heading into Sunday, I expected fireworks from the get-go. And even though the gap was closed, then it got bigger. It would close, the gap would get bigger. Matsuyama just maintained that position at the top. I expected to see more of a run from Justin Rose on Sunday. I thought he would be able to climb back up that leaderboard. Xander Schauffele, as you said, it was kind of an exciting final round for one hole on the 15th. And then, as you say, his tee shot at 16 found water. How much of an impact is that going to have on Xander going forward?
It's going to be hard to tell, Diane. That was a very, he said in his post round that him and his caddy had the wind down off the left. They went for the flag. They didn't have enough club. Obviously, it wasn't down off the left. Came up short. Will that affect him going forward? He hooked the ball under pressure at the Phoenix Open this year and lost the tournament to Brooks Koepka. This, in my mind, maybe he's not thinking of it as a hook or a pull, but it certainly did cost him the tournament. What did, however, emerge, Diane, was we talked about this a week ago, that we thought Augusta would have a few tricks up their sleeve with their golf course setup. And it was very interesting to me as I watched the back nine yesterday, how brilliant the design of Augusta is when the course gets firm. The pin is hanging over there on number 11. You can go over there if you want to. Nobody did, of course. The pin is, of course, where it is at 12. And as you go around the golf course, Diane, it all comes down to, do you have enough courage to shoot over there to these very tiny spots? And, Hideki Matsuyama is the champion, and he did play some phenomenal golf on the front nine. I was very interested to see how he would hit shots on like 5. He made par there. He hit a great shot at 7. He birdied 8. He birdied 9. He hit all the really important shots really well, and he deserves it by a mile.
Yeah, I was thinking at one point, it was probably around about 14, 15. It's not like you could root for one guy over the other. And I'm talking about Matsuyama and Schauffele, because they're both such likable personalities on tour. And Will Zalatoris, his first ever Masters. He doesn't even have full status on the PGA Tour. So he has no FedEx Cup points. Really, Zalatoris' name is starting to be thrown around for the Ryder Cup, and he could be the first player to ever make it onto the Ryder Cup team that isn't a fully fledged member of the PGA Tour. However, going back to Matsuyama, the first male from Japan to win a major, we've always seen the following that Matsuyama has from the very enthusiastic Japanese media. I mean, he's a hero, he's a legend in his country. And this is just going to mean so much, not only to him, but he had an entire nation on his shoulders too.
Well, Japanese golfers are fanatical about their heroes, and Matsuyama now has that stamp of approval. You know, of course, I grew up around Jumbo Ozaki, his brother Joe, Tommy Nakajima, Isaiah Aoki. They all had a very similar swing, Diane. They all copied Jumbo Ozaki, kind of a weak left-hand grip, and they had the hands high at the top of the backswing. Hideki Matsuyama, who won 3 times on our tour, he was on our President's Cup team down in Melbourne when he was 5-0. He kind of had a more of a rounded swing. But what I'm most excited about for Japan, Diane, is that Hideki Matsuyama has the best model for all the kids and all the Japanese people to copy. He's the first Japanese player that really had what we would call traditional looking sort of left arm right on the swing plane, plays a very circular motion. And I can't wait until I see all these kids coming out of Japan that are going to be swinging like Hideki, and it's going to be so good for them. And I think maybe people aren't thinking about the positives about that, but I think it's the swing model that he's going to imprint on Japan after this win.
Well, the trademark to Matsuyama's swing for such a long time was that very prominent pause at the top of his backswing, and he's done away with that. You understand that way more than most, but what was the goal, I guess, of getting rid of the pause at the top?
Well, I can only speculate, Diane, but when you do have a pause, it means that you know that you've arrived at the top of your swing, and that gives you that split second to be able to move your underbody first and not go with the hands from the top. The amateur player loves to go first with his hands, but Hideki had that prominent pause at the top of his swing. He's kind of taken that out. Obviously, he doesn't need it. I really like everything about his golf swing. He really has improved his putting. He's obviously one of the great things that we can't see about him is how calm he at least appears as though he is as he's playing around, because we know inside, Diane, there was a lot going on when he hit that ball in the water at 15. What happens there? He smoked it. It went over the green. What do I do? Is Schauffele going to make eagle? He got a good break, I think, with him, Schauffele going in the water at 16, gave him more breathing room. But at the end of the day, Diane, he had too much of a lead. And that's what happens in golf tournaments. You fight so hard, Diane, to be up 3, up 4, because something like that at the end may come along.
Especially around Augusta National, we know that the Masters doesn't really begin until the back nine on Sunday, and it was proven, and he only won by 1 in the end. Now, we do have to talk about our secret golf contributors who were incredible, especially Mark Leishman and Brian Harman. Leishman ended up finishing in a tie for 5th, and we've talked before about his track record around Augusta National. This is the first time that he really played very solidly for 4 days.
Yeah, I was texting with all of our players this week, and Leishman particularly, to me, looked like his putting was just beautiful. He grew up in the southern part of Australia on very fast greens, so he was all ready for this at the beginning of the week when I was texting with him. He said, mate, this is going to be just like playing at Royal Melbourne, which certainly that comparison has been made many times on the TV. Brian Harman, who had 8 birdies when he beat Bubba Watson in the match play and finished 3rd at the Players, he kept it going, was paired with Jordan Spieth yesterday in the final group. I think he finished 12th, had a great week for him. Kokrak got off to a good start, finished in the middle of the pack, as did Ryan Palmer. So we had a 4 for 4 week, and we really enjoyed watching everybody play, Diane. It was a tremendous week.
And on behalf of everyone on Golf Social Media, we want to say thank you to you for your amazing illustrations that you did of the holes around Augusta National. I'm going to put all 18 together, and that video is going to be up on YouTube, so anyone can go and watch it anytime. But it was just so nice to see that the strategy from your perspective and illustrated that way.
It must have been when I was a kid, Diane, in all my classes and drawing holes while the teacher was trying to teach me. I learned how to do that so quickly. I think I'm going to do a couple more this week, that whole particular behind you there. Sometimes the reason I think people like them is they don't actually, I think they like hearing what we actually trying to do on some of these holes, and an illustration sometimes is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, well, as I said, RBC Heritage at Hilton Head, Harbour Town Golf Links, and we're going to give you our tour report with picks. Get in the game on the SG Tour Golf gaming app and play 4-ball. It's a classic stroke play competition based on the aggregate scores of 4 players. Who makes your team? Well, pick 4 guys, 1 from each tier based on the current world golf rankings. Want a tip? You need 4 guys to make the cut. Get in the game on the SG Tour Golf gaming app, available on iOS in the App Store.